Hi everybody, welcome to post-coronation Sunday. Yes, I'm still digesting the coronation and admittedly I have conflicting emotions about the entire event. I have to admit though that there were moments during the coronation which really hit me in the feels, more so than I expected. I actually started watching the day before, from the visit to the Dog and Duck pub by William and Catherine to the surprise walkabout with King Charles to finally the dinner in the evening. The journey on the train and visit to the pub was actually a thank you to all transport and hospitality workers who were going to work so hard over the coronation weekend, and I thought that was fantastic and a great way to show recognition to all those people. Catherine, as usual, looked splendid in her red and white. Can that woman ever put a foot wrong? Apparently not. Later, we had the surprise walkabout with the King, William and Catherine. We saw Catherine in a white dress, which was what she wore, I think, under the red coat anyway. But again, I can only look in wonder and awe at a woman who had to be just a little nervous, yet still managed to look cool, relaxed, and ready to smile and interact with the crowd. Once again, I think it was fantastic for the king to step out and show himself and thank the people for being there and do so in person, especially considering that there were only hours to go before the coronation. I also shuddered to think of the security risk. Oh my goodness. I think there were a few security detail who had mini heart attacks when the walkabout was announced. Anyway, thank God that went well. You know, I may not be King Charles's greatest fan, but I hurt and cringe on his behalf when he is subjected to nastiness, and I feel second-hand hurt and embarrassment. For me, he is not so much a king as a 74-year-old man, father and grandfather. As royal, I'm not overly impressed with him, and I've had many criticisms and negative things to say about the way he conducted himself as royal. And even as a man, there are things we can criticize. But when we do that, we should stop and ask ourselves how perfect our own decisions in life were. Mine were actually far from perfect, and some of my decisions even bordered on the ridiculous and embarrassing, especially now in hindsight. As Prince, King Charles made whoppers, huge, glaring mistakes, some which the public can and may hold against him, because those are mistakes he made in the execution of his job. The mistakes he made as a man, husband, and father, however, are not ours to judge. That is indeed for God to judge one day, just like we shall also be judged. So having said that, I was praying all the time that the coronation would go down without a hitch, and it very much did. But let's get back to where I was before. The pre-coronation dinner showcased all the royalty and heads of state attending the coronation. And boy oh boy, if you are a royalist, it was like walking into a candy store. And with the exception of our British royals, I was happy to see some of my other favorites. Top of my list is Queen Rania of Jordan. Are you guys aware that the woman is 52 years old? And not only that, but she has 4 children. Yet look at her. She does not look a day older than 35. But it's not only how she looks, but she has impeccable taste. Everything she wears is always spot on. Anyway, I'm going to get carried away. I should one day do a video on her instead. Suffice it to say, she looked beautiful at the dinner and again at the coronation. Always appropriate and always stunning. Our dear Catherine looked beautiful in that blue dress. She genuinely knows how to put herself together, and just as well, because in my opinion, the dress itself was a disaster. All that bunched up fabric in front and even the pull on the side, it was just too much. And then those golden or crystal buttons on the shoulder, etc. One doesn't know what to make of the dress, what the designer was trying to do, or the image he or she wanted to create. I actually think the dress is quite awful, and had it been on anyone but Catherine, with her slim, tall figure, beautiful hair and smile, that dress would have been a disaster. Queen Letitia of Spain is, of course, a huge style icon and another royal with impeccable taste. And like Catherine, she knows how to put herself together so that the overall picture is beautiful regardless of the outfit. Similarly to Catherine's blue dress, I was not too impressed with the green Victoria Beckham that Queen Letitia wore. I personally don't like the style of the top part, the cut-out sleeves or the cut-on sleeves. In my day as dressmaker, I would usually advise against it, even in children's clothing. Queen Letitia gets away with all of that and rocks it because she is so slim, almost a little too thin, but it stands her in good stead in this particular dress. The color looks fabulous on her, but the fabric is obviously one which creases easily, so although she looked beautiful overall, I think she could have chosen better this time. I'm also in two minds about the all-pink Caroline Herrera the day of the coronation. She overall looked so beautiful, but I personally hate that gathered peplum on anybody. Seriously, I wish I could shake it into each designer, each dressmaker, and each buyer of such an outfit to make 101% sure the gathered peplum starts exactly in your middle. If you don't know where your middle is, then don't wear it. Sorry guys, that is an awful display of my OCD. But it is something, a minute detail, driving me up the wall. Okay guys, outside of the British royal family, my next favorite royal is obviously Queen Rania, and short, very short on her heels is Crown Princess Mary of Denmark. Like Catherine, like Queen Letitia, yes, we are just leaving Queen Rania out of this one because, quite frankly, I have never once seen her in anything not right for her. Yes, maybe there was something, but I just did not notice or was likely a bit biased, okay? So sorry about that. Anyway, like Catherine and Letitia, Crown Princess Mary knows how to put herself together so that she looks good regardless of what she is wearing. And that can also be said of the dress she wore to the dinner or reception. In my opinion, the dress was too loose over the chest and those sleeves thus looked a tad too much. The dress, unfortunately, I can't say much about because I acknowledge that it is just not my taste, and the fabric also of a type which creased a bit in the vehicle before they arrived. I mean, I looked at all these outfits and I go, goodness, where was the lace and couture at this reception? I'm just asking. Anyway, she looked pretty though, but it is a dress that needs to be altered before she wears it again, or otherwise she should donate it somewhere. The purple outfit Crown Princess Mary wore to the coronation was good. It was fine. Personally, I found the head-to-toe dark purple slightly aging on Mary, but other than that, there was little to criticize. I liked the veiled headpiece. I always do. That kind of headpiece with a slip of a veil is just always so elegant and so romantic, in my opinion. The royal whom I thought made the biggest fashion mistake was Charlene of Monaco. Look, I will be honest, even though she is South African and all that, I'm not a big fan of hers. But her style and clothing is always appropriate and usually fabulous. And then she stepped out in that periwinkle one-shoulder thing paired with trousers, and I just went, what were you thinking, my girl? Firstly, I think most of you would have noticed that most of the women were well covered, no low cuts, etc. And this is naturally because leaders from all over the world with different customs and from different religious backgrounds were attending. And here Charlene steps out of the vehicle with an off-the-shoulder look. And then I must also say, in a rainy and chilly London. Anyway, so firstly, it was totally inappropriate. Secondly, it is actually a beautiful outfit. I love the drapey, flowy look, but not for Charlene. Not with her wide shoulders and very, very short hair. And then I just don't know what to say about her outfit to the coronation. Whatever that thing on her head was, just does not suit her, not even a little. And I pray someone tells her that so that she never, ever, ever wears it ever, ever again. Okay. Jill Biden looked fine at both occasions, but please, can someone tell her to leave the hair bow home next time? She is a bit old for a bow in the hair, and it served absolutely no purpose and just ended up looking silly. There were just too many lovely looking women at the coronation to go through everyone, but for me, one of the absolute winners in the fashion stakes and overall looks at the coronation was Lady Louise, the daughter of Prince Edward and Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. Louise looked absolutely beautiful, and Cosmopolitan said it best. It appears Lady Louise is the royal style icon we have all been sleeping on. I absolutely agree. She looked beautiful. But of course, we must remember, again, she is tall and slim. But I think she chose well, at least for the coronation. And then, of course, we can't stop this video without mentioning little Charlotte. Oh, I know Catherine is the mommy and likely responsible for choosing Charlotte and Louis' outfits. So, obviously, credit should go to Catherine. But Charlotte looked like a regal angel. Picture book perfect. And little Louis, oh man, he looked equally amazing. Both of them looked like two little characters from a storybook. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to digest the entire coronation a little more, and we'll be right back tomorrow to talk about it a little more. I know a lot has already been said, so I'll keep my narrative short. Just basically give you my overall impression and my thoughts. So until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.